Hello.
Hi,
Hi. Hello, Khoi.
how are
How are
you?
you? Oh, I'm good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good too.
Okay. So what did you do for the whole day?
Just studying for whole day.
Study the whole day. So what did you study?
English, math, chemistry.
Wow. So is chemistry your favorite subject? Did you like
Uh,
chemistry?
um, I think that's the more hatred curriculum in the school.
Actually, we have the same experience. Actually, when I was still a student, just like you, the most hated
Yes.
subject, okay, is chemistry because I can't, I don't know, okay, because I'm not good in math, okay, that's why I hate chemistry because there would be a balancing of symbols like chemicals or whatsoever, right? So I
Mhm.
don't know how to balance them, okay. So that's why my teacher during the time gave me a very low score, a very low grade when I was still studying. Okay, so that's my weakest subject. Okay, what about your favorite subject? I guess you told me that one before. That's English. English
Yes,
is your
English.
favorite subject, right? Okay, so
Yes,
I can still remember that you said that one last time. Okay, so are you ready for another day, Koi?
I'm ready.
Okay, I guess you forgot your homework.
What's homework?
Yeah, because you promised me to make another writing activity. It's all about you
Oh,
chose, right? Oh, but don't you worry. It's okay. No problem.
no,
So
because I can
maybe,
find a reset of submitting a newspaper in IELTS, so I cannot handle.
yes. So that the process actually, there would be a wrong process. See, that's the reason why do we need to study them, the processes, because there are, like for example, when you try to study this particular thing, there would be no processes. Okay,
Yes.
so that's why you cannot give the so-called process of that because there would be no study which regards to that, even though you are going to browse a lot of internet, what is one internet sites, you cannot find them because there was no study about that one,
Mm,
right?
yes.
Maybe there would be processes on how to the one that we did last time, right? It's the process of what is it one? It's the process of reporting, right? The
Yes.
particular article to the newsroom, right? I hope you
Mm,
can still remember that one. So there would be process like that. So what's the process of processing or reporting the article that they gathered already? Okay, so there would be a process for that. But if we are going to talk about processes on how to submit a report to the journalists. So I guess I wasn't able to read an article about that one. Okay,
mm,
because maybe there would no process because you just submit that. Okay, once you're done, submit it for correction.
yes.
Right? So that's just so why don't we waste our time to what is one to tell about the process because there would only be one process. You just to submit the raw material, the raw article for to the journalist, and after that one, the journalist will going to check that one, and then after that, the journalist will going to what? To finalize everything and submit that one to the newsroom. So that would be a part of the submission of a raw article to the newsroom. It's not
Mm,
to the journalists. Okay? So that would
yes.
be it. Okay, so I am going to share the presentation now, Koi, and let's continue discussing with our lesson. Okay, actually, we are now on. this particular activity, which is number 4. So, as a review, yesterday, we were able to listen to the two students studying space expeditions and together with their tutor, Dr. Anita Thornton. And they are discussing all about the topic that they will be going to study, okay? Because they will be going to report the results of that particular study, okay? So they come up with an idea or final choice, which is the Mars expedition. Now, let's try to listen them again and let's try to observe their behaviors and their opinions all about uh, in deciding the topic that they are going to do in that particular situation. So we are going to identify whether Simon, okay, positively, what is on positively said or says, okay, or say about the Pluto expedition, the Mars and the Moon. Same with Maria and Dr. Turnton. Okay, so let's try to hear and listen them again. Just for a while, I have to find the audio. Okay, it's here. So that would be 22. So 22.
Track 22.
Hello, Simon.
Hi, Maria.
Okay, what topic do you think we should choose for the project we're starting next week? I think we need to make sure that it's going to last over the next few months so that we can complete the project.
Well, there are several possibilities. Have you heard of the Pluto expedition? The spacecraft is about to arrive there, and it's going to send back pictures that we've never seen before. It should be really interesting.
That sounds like a good idea. What do you think, Dr. Thornton?
Well, I'm not so sure about that one. I mean, it's already been going for 10 years, and I think we should look at something which is planned for the future but hasn't started yet. It would give you a better chance to study it in depth and do far more analysis for your monthly update reports.
I don't think that's a problem. There'll be a lot of coverage on the news over the next few weeks.
That's true. But we really need something to last for a few months. On second thoughts, maybe Dr. Thornton's right. Perhaps we should look at something which hasn't started yet. Isn't there something I heard about a new Mars expedition?
Okay, I have to stop in there, okay, so that we can be able to concentrate on whatever there would be their opinion and their what is an outlook or the particular what expressions about the Pluto expedition. So what do you think would be Simon's opinion and expression about Pluto expedition? Is it positive, negative, or neutral?
I think it's Simon is negative.
Actually, Simon is positive. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, he was able to mention about positive things about the Pluto expedition. That's why he was the one suggested, right? That if they will be going to look into consideration about the Pluto expedition. Okay? And then, what about Maria? So what do you think would be the opinion and expressions of Maria when it comes to the Pluto expedition?
Mm, Maria, I think is negative.
Still positive, Toy. Okay?
Oh,
Why is it still positive? Because he was able to agree about the idea that was
yes.
mentioned by Simon. But definitely Dr. Turnton did not approve that one. So, her expression and opinion is
Is I think it's neutral.
Negative. Okay,
What? That's a
because he
neutral?
doesn't, yes, because according to him, let's go back to the particular conversation between the three of them. According to her, actually, Pluto expedition has already been done. It was already studied before, right? So she mentioned about that one. So why don't you think of any possible expedition wherein you can be able to explore? Right? So that
Yes.
means she's negatively do not approved about Pluto expedition. Okay? Now let's continue about Mars expedition.
More
I think there's a
expedition.
group of people out in America somewhere who are preparing for a trip to Mars.
Yes, it was in the news last week. They've built a sort of camp in the desert in Arizona. There are 10 people living there for 6 months, just like they would be together on the trip to Mars and after they arrive there.
That'd be ideal. 6 months is just right for you. You could follow their progress and how the project develops. From what I know, the Pluto project is already a success,
Mm.
but with the Mars one, you can assess how successful it is as it progresses, and you can write it up for your final report.
Yeah, that sounds promising.
Okay, but before we decide, I'd just like to mention one more.
Okay, I have to stop in there. Okay. Now, so what do you think would be the expression and the opinion of Simon about the Mars expedition? Is it positive, negative, or neutral?
Neutral.
Correct. Okay. Good. Okay. So you were able to listen the way Simon talks about Mars expedition. Okay. He's just only in the neutral side. Okay. Because if we try to hear the intonation, okay, of Simon telling about the Mars expedition, it's just only neutral, okay? But what about Maria?
Maria is negative.
Still
Her song all neutral.
positive. Still positive, Koi. Why? Because, okay, why? Because she was also, what is one? Their tutor, Dr. Thornton, actually recommended Mars expedition because according to her again, Pluto expedition has been done. It was been studied before, right? So
Yes.
therefore, it's better that they will be going to find another expedition that never been studied. Okay, so Maria agreed to that idea of Dr. Thornton, and then she was able to positively mention that one. Okay, what are the things that they should have to do in that Mars expedition? So it's
Yes.
positive. What about Dr. Thornton?
To the Totten. He is neutral.
Positive, okay? He's
Oh no way.
also in the positive side because she was the one recommended this, okay? She was the one recommended Mars expedition, okay? That's why it's positive for her, okay? Okay,
Yes. Oh
next.
my
Let's try
god.
to continue.
I heard that the Chinese are planning an expedition to the moon.
Mm,
What? Another man or woman on the moon? That's already been done.
mm.
I don't think the moon's particularly interesting these days.
Simon has a point. I mean, the Chinese are coming up now, and they've got some new ideas. I don't think they're sending any astronauts. I think it's just an expedition with robots and machines to find the best place to start a colony.
Yes, but I don't think that's particularly interesting. I mean, no one has ever seen Pluto close up, and no one has tried to go to Mars. So I think they'd be more interesting expeditions to do.
You have a point. Perhaps it would be better to focus on one of the other two.
Okay, If you ask me, I'd prefer to see how a group of people get along living together in a difficult situation,
Mhm.
like they'll be doing in Arizona in preparation for their trip. I
Mm.
think you'd get far more out of that. But the final decision is yours. What do you think?
I agree. I'd prefer to go for that one.
So that's agreed then. Good. Let's make a start.
Excellent. I'll make a note of that. We'll meet again next Wednesday, and you can give me your project outline. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Okay. So what about the expression and the opinion of Simon when which regards to the moon expedition?
Mm, about Simon's
Have you
in
noticed, have you heard about there would be an excitement, okay? There would be the rising intonation. Have you heard about that? When he says about something, or when he was able to mention or to say all about moon expedition. Are there any excitement on his expression or opinion? I guess it doesn't have. So it
yes,
remains the same. So therefore, Simon is
Simon E. neutral.
neutral. Okay. Actually, if you try to look at this one, he is um, he is he is not against the moon expedition, and he's not also positively agree
Yes,
on the idea of the moon expedition. That's why he's at the center. He's neutral. Okay? Okay, what about Maria? Oh, actually, Maria.
the really who the one recommend this
So that would be
positive.
no, Maria do not recommend the moon expedition.
Dr. Thompson's?
That actually Dr. Thornton actually agreed on the suggestion of Simon. But according to Maria, no, I don't think so. That's it's a good idea. Okay? So therefore, she is
Yes,
negative. Okay? She doesn't want to study the moon expedition actually. Okay? That's why she negatively make a comments about this one. Actually, she made a negative comments about the moon expedition. Okay? Okay. And then Dr. Thornton agree Simon's idea about that one. But according to her, but of course, the final decision is yours. So what do you think? Right? She was
yes.
able to mention that one. So what do you think would be the expression and opinion of Dr. Thornton? Of course, she's also the same with
Simon.
Simon. Okay? That would be neutral. Okay? Khoi.
Yes.
Now, it's very important again to hear the what is one, even though we cannot see someone who's talking, but by merely listening to their voices, we can be able to identify whether they of course they are positive, negative, or neutral. Okay. um Actually, the differences between the three would be positive. They comment much more positively on that particular situation or idea. Negative, that means they don't, okay, they don't agree. Maybe they tell negatively something about that one, so that's negative. Neutral, something like there's negative, there's positive. Okay, if they
Yes.
say about negative, actually sandwich style would be positive first. If they say about positive, there would be also be negative. Okay, but it's just only to balance everything. Okay? So therefore, neutral is at the center, at the center, whether it's positive or negative. Okay? So that
Yes.
would be the differences, Khoi. Okay, so do you have any questions so far with this?
No question.
No more. Okay, let's try to move on with this particular understanding of the speaker's attitudes. Okay, wait for a while. Okay, now, often people use expressions to show their attitude and opinions. Again, let's try to listen again, to the 6 short conversations and choose positive, A, B is negative, C neutral for its attitude expressed by the second speaker. Okay, let's try to listen.
Track 23. Conversation 1.
It looks like the government is going to raise taxes in the budget tomorrow.
Seriously, I really don't see how that could be a good idea. It'll reduce spending and affect the economy without a doubt.
Conversation 2.
Okay, just
They
wait
just
for a
said
while.
on the local news that the bus companies are planning to reduce fares for travel after 10.
Okay, I have to repeat, Khoi, Okay, just for a while. And then I have to stop on conversation 1 first, and then let's try to identify so that we cannot able to forget, okay? Let's try to listen.
Track 23. Conversation 1.
It looks like the government is going to raise taxes.
Okay, for a while. Remember that we are going to identify the attitude expressed by the second speaker. That means the one who is replying with that particular idea, okay? That means there would be boy and the girl, the woman and the man. So the second speaker is the
Either one who's,
the one who answered second, okay? The first who talked would be the man, is the first speaker. And then the one who answered, the one who answered, of course, that would be the second speaker. So that means the second speaker is the girl, okay? Okay.
yeah, I guess
So let's try to listen.
Is in the budget tomorrow.
Seriously, I really don't see how that could be a good idea. It'll reduce spending and affect the economy without a doubt.
Okay. So what do you think would be her attitude expressed?
negative.
Correct. Okay. So why is it negative? What do you think would be the one that you heard about that word is negative?
Because I heard express her worry and her fear.
Yes. So there would be the so-called, of course, she's not approving about that one. Okay.
Yes.
She is disapproval. Okay. Instead of saying, and then there's an expression that seriously, according to her, right? And that is sarcastic. Okay, that's actually expression is sarcastic. You know what the sarcastic means?
What does it mean?
Okay. Okay, sarcastic means it's just like you are something you are approving, but you don't. Okay? So that means sarcasm, sarcastic. It's a behavior wherein something that you approve, but deep in your heart you don't. So that's sarcastic. So you disapprove, but something like there would be also be an approval, so that you cannot directly express that approval. That's why look at this one. She said, seriously. So that's a sarcastic uh, tone or intonation or voice. Okay? Okay, so the
Yes.
correct answer is negative. Okay, let's continue.
Conversation 2.
They just said on the local news that the bus companies are planning to reduce fares for travel after 10 o'clock to get more people to come into town.
That certainly sounds like it would work well. It would definitely help shops and businesses, as well as the local attractions.
Okay. Who is the second speaker in this particular conversation?
The man.
Correct. Okay. So the girl speaks first, and then
Yes. The man
the one who
reply.
answered that one is the man. So we have to identify the attitude expressed by the man. Okay, what do you think?
I think he speak neutral.
Positive. Okay. Why is it positive, Khoi?
Neutral.
Okay. Actually, look at this. Let's try to listen again with their conversation. Okay. Let me.
Conversation 2.
Okay.
They just said on the local news that the bus companies are planning to reduce fares for travel after 10 o'clock to get more people to come into town.
That certainly sounds like it would work well.
Okay. That's okay. There would be like an intonation that is excited, right? So that
Yes.
sounds okay. So that means it's positive because he approves that one. Okay? And then if you try to listen to the intonation or the voice of that man, he's so
It would
excited.
definitely help shops and
Definitely,
businesses,
okay.
as well as the local attractions.
Okay. Next.
Conversation 3.
Oh no, not again. The air traffic controllers are going on strike. That will cause massive delays at the airports and ruin a lot of travel plans.
Well, to be honest, I'm not really worried. I'm travelling by train for my holiday.
Okay. So what do you think would be the
Negative.
attitude? Yes, definitely. She's just only neutral. Okay. There's a monotone. Oh, definitely. Blah 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 something like that. So she doesn't care. Okay. Next, number 4.
Conversation 4.
It says here in today's paper that the government is going to offer free dental checks to people over 60.
I'm all for that. Anything that helps people take care of their teeth has to be a good thing.
So, what do you think?
Positive.
That's correct. Okay. So it's
Yes.
positive. Okay. Why positive? What do you think? According to her,
Because I just heard he heard for positivity.
yeah, okay.
To
Look
offer
at this,
free dental checks to people over 60.
I'm all for that. Anything that helps people take care of their teeth has to be a good thing.
Okay, so according to her, I'm old for that, but anything that is helping people, something like that, it's good idea, right? So she showed about her positivity. Okay, next, let's continue.
Conversation 5.
There's a report in the sports section that says Athletic are going to buy that Brazilian striker Reginaldo for £40 million.
That much? I can't seriously believe that. I really don't think he's as good as the experts say he is.
So what do you think?
Negative.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
So the man it's disapproving. Okay. He does not approve about the idea. Okay. Next.
Conversation 6.
The government is going to bring more doctors and medical staff from abroad to fill vacancies. Maybe they should try to find more here.
It's all the same to me. As long as they're qualified and speak good English, it shouldn't matter where they're from.
Okay. What do you think?
Neutral.
Correct. Okay. So it's neutral. Why is it neutral? Because she doesn't mind. Okay, for as long as if that they came from another places, so she doesn't mind. For as long as they can give their best as a doctors. Okay, so she's neutral. Very good. Okay, now Do you have questions so far with this, Khoi?
No question.
No question. So let's move on to activity number 6. So listen again to the conversations and write the keywords and expressions which express the speaker's attitude. Like, seriously. Okay, so this one is an expressions. Okay, and then decide whether this is positive, negative, or neutral. Okay, so let's try to listen again on the conversation. Okay, just for a while. 23.
Track 23. Conversation 1.
It looks like the government is going to raise taxes in the budget tomorrow.
Seriously? I really don't see how that could be a good idea. It'll reduce spending and affect the economy without a doubt.
Okay, so let's try to stop in there. So conversation 1, what's the keywords? Seriously. And then what's the expression? She was able to mention,
Worries.
I don't see how. Right? Okay. So I don't see how. Seriously, I don't see how. So what do you think would be the attitude of the speaker?
It's worries.
Positive or negative?
Absolutely negative.
Yes. So, yeah. So we heard that one while ago. So her, okay, expression is negative. Okay. Let's try to listen to conversation number 2.
Conversation 2.
They just said on the local news that the bus companies are planning to reduce fares for travel after 10 o'clock to get more people to come into town.
That certainly sounds like it would work well. It would definitely help shops and businesses, as well as the local attractions.
Okay. So what do you think would be the keywords?
The keyword is Can we hear again?
Okay, sure.
News that the bus companies are planning to reduce fares for travel after 10 o'clock to get more people to come into town.
That certainly sounds like it would work well. It would definitely help shops and businesses, as well as the local attractions.
Okay. So what have you heard? He
Definitely.
was, huh?
Definitely.
Yes. The other one is definitely, and then there's also one definitely,
I
and
don't
then
see something else right that.
certainly. Okay? So he was able to mention first the word certainly. Okay? And after that one, definitely. Okay? So he was able to mention that one and emphasize that one through raising his voice. Okay? Next. Is it positive or negative?
I think it's positive.
Yes. Okay. So whatever would be our answers here, that would also be our answer in here because that would be their attitude. Okay. Next. Let's try to listen to conversation number 3.
Conversation 3.
Oh no, not again. The air traffic controllers are going on strike. That will cause massive delays at the airports and ruin a lot of travel plans.
Well, to be honest, I'm not really worried. I'm travelling by train for my holiday.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I'm not really worried. Okay. So what do you think were the keywords and expressions?
To be honest, and
I'm not
I
really
think that's
worried. Okay, so there would be 3. She was able to mention, well, okay. And then after that, to be honest, she was able to emphasize that, well, to be honest. Okay.
no.
And after that, I'm I'm okay, I'm not really worried. Okay? Yeah, actually, um, uh, UK's, okay, UK's or London's, okay, those who are living in the United Kingdom, or we call that one as what do we call this? What do we call this people? That people? We call that one as those who are living in London called
Or inhabitants.
okay, but we call them as in the United Kingdom, people living in the United Kingdom is called what do we call that one? I forgot. Okay.
Citizens.
No, no. We call them as later on. I'm going to that's in my mind, okay? But I cannot explain it right now, okay? So we have to go back for that, okay? So if
Yes.
you are in London, look at the way they speak. That's definitely the girl that speaks is a true London girl. Okay. Well, to be honest, I'm not really worried. Okay, that's their intonation really. Okay? There in London. I do have one student actually from UK. Okay, and then she was able to tell me about something like this. That's how she speaks. Okay, when she was able to ask me, actually I want to ask something about that I don't know. She said, so
Oh,
that's her intonation actually. Yeah. Okay, and then there's another one boy who also studied to me from the UK. Same, they have the same intonation. Okay, so pardon me, sir, I just wanted to ask something about this because I can understand. That's their intonation. Okay, okay, so what do you think would be their attitude or her attitude? Of course, that's just only neutral. Okay, next, number 4, let's try to listen.
Conversation 4.
It says here in today's paper that the government is going to offer free dental checks to people over 60.
I'm all for that. Anything that helps people take care of their teeth has to be a good thing.
Okay, so what do you think would be the
positive.
keywords? Okay,
Perhaps
keywords she
neutral.
used would be I'm all for that. Okay, I'm all for that. And then she was able to mention also about a good thing. Okay, and of course, that's the attitude is
Attitude positive.
positive. Okay, that would be correct. Although she was able to mention, well, I'm all for that. That's a good thing. Okay. Next, number 5.
Conversation 5.
There's a report in the sports section that says Athletic are going to buy that Brazilian striker Reginaldo for £40 million.
That much? I can't seriously believe that. I really don't think he's as good as the experts say he is.
Okay, so what do you think?
Conversation 6.
Oh, wait.
Negative.
The government is going to bring
Sorry. Okay, let's try to study first. What do you think would be the keywords that he was able to mention? So he said, according to him, I can't seriously believe that, right? Okay.
Yes.
Seriously believe that. Okay, I have a wrong spelling of seriously believe that. And then aside from that, it was also to mention also I really don't think. Okay? So that would be the expression. And that would be
Don't. Negative.
negative, correct. Okay, so that would be negative. Okay, last but not the least,
I can't seriously believe that. I really don't think he's as good as the experts say he is.
Conversation 6.
The government is going to bring more doctors and medical staff from abroad to fill vacancies. Maybe they should try to find more here.
It's all the same to me. As long as they're qualified and speak good English, it shouldn't matter where they're from.
Okay, so what do you think would be their expression or the expression of the girl?
Neutral.
Okay, so that would be neutral, but what
Yes.
about the expressions she used?
I don't think the phrase I don't think.
Yes, it's all the same to me. It shouldn't matter. Okay, so that's the expression. Okay, that we can be able to identify. So it's all the same to me. It's all the same to me. And then she said it shouldn't. So it shouldn't matter. For as long as they speak good English, so it's okay for me, right? Okay, and
Yes.
of course, she is neutral. Okay? Okay. Now, let's try to understand and to look at the following keywords and expressions, Khoi. Okay? So, look at this. From the word itself or from the expression itself, I don't see how. What do you think would be the connection of their attitude with the expressions? There was a connection, right? Don't. Have you seen that? I don't see how. And the word don't is negative, right? This one
Oh,
is the contracted form of do not, right? Don't. So that is negative statement. Okay?
yes.
Okay. Certainly, definitely, these are all positive because you what? Approve that. Right? Okay,
Yes.
next. Well, to be honest, I'm not really worried. Okay? So, these are the things that we can say that it's neutral because she's just there in the middle. Okay? She's not approving this one. She's not also approving the negative one. She's not also approving the positive one. Well, to be honest, I'm not really worried. Okay? So, neutral. Oh, look at this. I'm all for that. So the word all, the word could, of course, positive.
Positive.
Okay? Next, look at this. Can't. Okay? So another one. It's a negative connotation or expression. Can't. Don't. Negative. Okay? Next, again, neutral. It's all the same to me. It shouldn't matter. So that means it's neutral because um, she's not approving the positive one or the negative one. Okay, so she shouldn't matter about that. Okay, Kai?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so do you have questions with this?
No question.
Okay, now in this particular part of the lesson that we will be going to understand the role of the distractors. So in an exam, there would be a lot of distractors rather, because there is only one correct answer, right? And
Yes.
if we have three choices, the two choices in there would be a distractors. Okay, so
Yes.
in this particular lesson, of course, we will be going to understand actually multiple choice question for me, huh? I don't know. You just have to also to give me your own feedback or opinion about this one. For me, the most difficult type of exam for me is multiple choice question. What
Difficult
do you
choice
think?
question.
Yes, for
What I
me.
refer as more that's
Ask
part of
me why. Ask me why.
because
I
maybe
don't know.
feeling
No.
of
I
satisfaction.
let me ask you. For you, what do you think? You find multiple choice question a difficult part of what is one type of exam? What do you think?
If you ask
Because
me,
for me, Koi, I find that difficult for me. Why?
oh,
Yes, yeah. Frankly speaking, okay. Honestly, I find this particular type of test difficult. Okay, why? Actually, I'm very good. Okay, I could say that I'm good when it comes to answering essay questions. I'm good. Okay, when I was still a student, my teachers during the time also when I was also studying in college, all my professors always praise me. Okay, because I can perfect the essay tests. But they also give me so-called what is one an advice when it comes to multiple choice questions because I got a low scores in a multiple choice questions. So that's my opinion and that's also my own experience. Why did what am I why is it I am telling you this one? Why? Because you know what? In a multiple choice question, there's a lot of distractors. Sometimes in a
yes,
the multiple choice question, Koi, they are all correct. But you just have to choose only the best among the rest.
yes,
So, right. So if you try to think, actually, when I answer multiple choice question, I stuck in there because I am going to think, no, they have all of these are correct. So which one is the most one? Because when I studied my lesson, it's all correct. Okay?
yes.
So which I am going to choose. So I come up with okay, where is the correct answer? So I come up with that. Koi. Jack and Poi. We
Yeah,
call that
that
one as
feeling.
Jack and Poi. You know that also.
Yeah, that feeling. Oh my
See?
goodness.
So
It can,
do you have also experience or do you experience that one having a Jack and Poi in the test?
yes, absolutely.
Oh, see? Oh, you experience that one. That's why I find multiple choice type of tests difficult. And look at this, to Akoy. In a board exam, in a board exam test, why is it all the questions are in multiple choice? See?
Yes.
Because multiple choice type of question or type of test is the most difficult type of test.
Oh, really? But I think it's writing test
Yes.
or listening test more difficult choice.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure that listening is more difficult than multiple choice.
Really? Oh,
Yes.
okay. So anyway, maybe we do have different what is it? Different ideas on how to look when it comes to the types of the test, right? Maybe
Yes.
it's all about like that. Okay, but for me, that's the difficult one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, before we have to listen, let's try to understand this one, Koi. In a multiple choice questions, in exam, there is one correct option. Yes, I told you that one. And the two wrong options. That the wrong options are called distractors and they are designed to be attractive. For example, by talking about the correct answer, by giving the incorrect information, the distractors do not answer the question. But look at this, they are designed to be attractive,
Hmm.
right? So, to distract you in order for you not to guess the correct answer. And again, during the board exam, I experienced, Koi, during my board exam, that a lot of questions come out on the test.
Yes.
They, all of them are correct. and you need to decide. And I stuck up in that particular type of the test. Okay, so that's my experience. So let's try to listen now. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Have you typed something?
No, not
Okay.
really.
Yeah, so that's 24.
Track 24.
That'd be ideal. 6 months is just right for you. You could follow their progress and how the project develops. From what I know, the Pluto project is already a success, but with the Mars one, you can assess how successful it is as it progresses, and you can write it up for your final report.
Yeah, that sounds promising.
Okay, but before we decide, I'd just like to mention one more. I heard that the Chinese are planning an expedition to the moon.
What? Another man or woman on the moon? That's already been done. I don't think the moon's particularly interesting these days.
Simon has a point. I mean, the Chinese are coming up now, and they've got some new ideas. I don't think they're sending any astronauts. I think it's just an expedition with robots and machines to find the best place to start a colony.
Yes, but I don't think that's particularly interesting. I mean, no one has ever seen Pluto close up, and no one has tried to go to Mars. So I think they'd be more interesting expeditions to do.
You have a point. Perhaps it would be better to focus on one of the other two.
Okay. If you ask me, I'd prefer to see how a group of people get along living together in a difficult situation, like they'll be doing in Arizona in preparation for the trip. I think you'd get far more out of that, but the final decision is yours. What do you think?
Okay. Okay, look at that, huh? Um, a conversation again, but the question in there would be Dr. Thornton thinks studying the Mars expedition is a good idea because A, she thinks the mission will be successful, B, robots and machines will be used to start a colony there, and C, the students will have the chance to study it until it ends. So what do you think
Yes.
would be the correct answer?
I think the letter C.
That's correct. Definitely the correct answer is letter C. Why? Because if you listen very carefully with the conversation, Dr. Thornton did not mention about this. She thinks the mission will be successful, right? Robots
Yes.
and machines, she didn't, of course, she didn't say this one because it was said by Maria. Okay? Yeah, but she doesn't say this one. Okay? So the robots, the students will have the chance to study it until the end. Okay. So the other two would be a distractors. Next, check your answer with your teacher and then answer these questions to help you find the reasons why are the other two options are not correct. So why is it? We were able to discuss that one while ago, but okay, look at this. What does Dr. Thornton say is actually successful? What do you think?
I think the China. So what does this question mean?
Okay, what does Dr. Thornton say is actually successful?
Because China have already sent people to the moon, so our trip of expedition to Mars would be better.
Okay, now look at this. Okay, actually, she mentions that the Pluto expedition or project is successful, but doesn't say the same about the Mars project. So A cannot be right. Okay? Cannot be right. Okay. Next, what about number two? Which expedition is sending robots and machines to find a suitable place for colony?
That's more expedition.
Okay, so there is an information, okay, about using robots and machines to start a colony, right? But that is connected with the Chinese project on the moon. So letter B is not the correct answer.
Okay.
Okay? But look at this. What time references do you hear? What time references?
Mm, I think it's
What do you think? Okay. What time? We're
for
talking about time references, huh? It was mentioned in there that they will be going to study that one for about how many months? So time, okay? There would be the so-called deadlines, right? Deadline of the submission. So that would be considered as the time reference. So that means the Mars project will last 6 months. And Dr.
yes.
Thornton says that it is just the right length of time for the group. So letter C must be the correct answer. Okay? Because they actually what is one? They were able to explain the things in here in different missions. Pluto has been done. So there's no need for you to repeat that one. Okay? And then this particular moon expeditions has already been done, but it was mentioned that they sent robots and machines, but not human, right? Okay. But according here, this particular expedition lasted for just only not for 6 months, because their project should have to last at least 6 months. So therefore,
That's my
letter
second.
C is the correct answer. Okay, Khoi? Okay, so that would be it. Next, number... Okay, number 9. Listen to the conversation between Maria, Simon, and Dr. Thornton 1 month after the start of the project and read questions 1, 2, 3. There are two options for each question, A and B, one correct answer and one distractor. For each question, choose the correct answer and think about why the distractor is wrong. Now, before doing that one, let's try to have the tip number 9 first. When you check the answers, Khoi, think carefully about why the distractors are wrong and how you can identify the correct answer. So that is what we call elimination process. Okay? But in this particular multiple choice, there would only be two choices. So it's easy for you to eliminate, right?
It's
So there would be
easy.
the so-called, yeah, it's easy for you to eliminate because it's just only one distractor and the other one would be the correct answer. But before doing that one, you should have to think carefully why that is the distractors, because sometimes if you will not going to study sometimes, at the end, there would be the correct answer, right? So something that actually in a particular question, when you hear about that one in the audio, they rephrase that one, Koi. That's why that is what we call now recognizing paraphrases of what people
People say.
say. Okay? So here comes now the so-called paraphrasing. Okay? Because you heard that one, oh, it's different from the audio. I
Yes.
wasn't able to hear about something this one, but sometimes remember there would be synonyms, right? So that means maybe ill is also synonymous to mentally uh mentally sick person, right?
Yes.
Because when we are talking about ill, that would be sickness, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so maybe in the audio they use about sickness, but on the question or on the answers, they don't use any more sickness, but they use ill now. So try to study carefully before deciding to eliminate that one. Okay, because sometimes the one that you eliminated would be the correct answer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that will be it. So let's try to listen. Oh, I guess it's already been time. So we will just going to continue this one, Koi, ha? Because if we will be going to start discussing this one, we might forget everything next time. Huh? So we will
Yes.
have to end. And on the next Friday, that's going to be on the 10th of February. So we will be going to meet again. So we will going to tackle this one on February 10, okay, 2023. Okay, why do I have to put it this one? To remind you that we have class. Okay.
Yes. On next Friday.
Yeah, so see you on the next Friday. Have a good night.
Have a good
And
night.
I know you can do this. Okay,
Yes.
go for gold.
Yes. I have to brought us on listening skill.
That's correct. Okay, bye bye, Koy.
Bye. Have a good night.
Okay, have a good night too.